Welcome to the Whole Athlete Podcast, where we focus on discussing topics to help you become a fat burner, optimize health, and improve performance in life and sports. Transform the whole you from the inside out with the holistic method. Let's dive in. Here's your host, Debbie Potts.
Hey everybody, it's Debbie Potts, the host of the Whole Athlete Podcast, where I'm on a mission for you. I'm bringing you new guests and topics every week to help figure out the root cause to your unexplained symptoms that may be impacting your ability to burn fat and lose weight, to generally optimize your health, how you can really feel better from the inside out. If it's, symptoms as gut bloating, dysfunction issues there, or maybe you're looking to find ways to improve your performance in your endurance sport triathlons. And as I've shared my personal story, Life is Not a Race book on Amazon, that I went from kind of a top age group triathlete, runner, cyclist, endurance athlete in 2012 to 2013, just having no energy, no fatigue, gained 30 pounds in a few months, just went from top of my career as an age group athlete to the bottom in just months. And my mission is to help you avoid going through what I've had the last 5 years as I try to heal myself from the inside out and share with you new research and new topics and products and way of thinking, because a lot of it's up here what causes us to have that type A nonstop personality. So today's show, I'm having guests on that I met at Ironman Hawaii, guys from iKOR, Craig Sweeney, and some of his business partners talk about the benefit of iKOR. And if you guys haven't seen it, because I know a lot of pro athletes share this item, but it's a ultra refined bioavailable organic hemp oil, and it's drops that you put on your tongue. So it's called liposomal encapsulation technology. And I've just been putting it on my tongue or under your tongue and let it hold there for a minute and doing it at night. So we're going to learn about that today, what it does, what hemp oil is for, because you keep seeing all these different products with it, and talk about the source of it, and if we're going to get high, if you're going to feel better sleeping, decrease injury, soreness, and help recovery, and whatever it does. So let's bring on the guys from iKOR and learn a little bit more on how we can improve our recovery and repair ourselves from our training sessions, as well as just the stress of daily life, as we're always on the go, trying to fit too much in a day. And it's really hard sometimes to slow down and, as I say, push pause and the reset button and reboot. So this product is something I was curious to learn more about and thought it'd be great information for you. So if you go to iKOR, iKORLABS, iKORLabs.com, and use the code The Whole Athlete, we can get you a discount there. So I'll put everything in the show notes. And again, when we're done, you can send any questions on our Facebook page, The Whole Athlete. And you can follow me on Instagram, The Holistic Athlete, on there. So we can answer any questions that you have, or comments, or ideas, and topics you want to hear more of on the show. As I said earlier, my passion is to help you transform the whole athlete from the inside out. So learning a little bit more about nutritional therapy side of things, instead of just talking about swim, bike, run training methods. So let's learn something new today. Enjoy the show. Hey, I'm back, and I've got our guests on the show today to talk about iKOR Labs. Hello, Craig and John.
Hey, how are you? How are you?
I am happy to have you guys on the show. I saw your booth at Ironman Hawaii last year, and I know I've heard about you guys on social media and other podcast friends, athletes that are using your product, and I've been taking it. So we're going to talk about what is iKOR Labs. But first of all, I want to know your stories. I love to start the show with my guests asking, what's your passion, purpose, and Why? Why are you doing this? What's it for? What drives you?
Yeah, sure. So iKOR Labs is it's about 2.5 years old now. It was founded by four of us in Boulder, Colorado, and it actually came out of I had some friends we were looking at doing actually a marijuana edibles brand. But in doing so, became very educated and familiar with CBD, and saw an opportunity to deal with athletes with that product versus marijuana or medical marijuana. There's far less regulation, which we can get into how that works. But John and I both come from an endurance athletics background, and so when the opportunity presented itself to work with this new market, this new type of product with endurance athletes, it was pretty appealing to us. John and I have known each other for years now, back when I was the marketing director at Retool and John was running marketing at Scratch Labs. So we've been friends for a long time, and it just there was just a good opportunity for us to put a product in the world that we believed in and work with people we wanted to work with. So yeah, it's been about 2.5 years, and slow increase, but the market's taken off, and our brand's starting to take off as well.
So your background, both of you, are marketing, not any to do thing with biochemistry or functional medicine or anything.
Yeah, my background is actually more on the product side in the active outdoor world. I started my career at Pearl Izumi. No, not biochemistry. I do have a degree in kinesiology, so it's not totally foreign to me. But both John and I raced, and just kind of familiar with how athletes operate and what they're looking for performance gains. So we saw an opportunity with this type of product to help athletes out, particularly endurance athletes.
So why do you think hemp extract is what's in this product? Why do endurance athletes need this? Why did you feel like there's a missing area that you needed to get into?
Sure. So in the last few years, with CBD, with hemp extract products, and other products like turmeric-based products, there's been a big focus on recovery, much more focused than there used to be, for sure. And a big part of the recovery is dealing, number one, with the inflammation and oxidation that results from intense athletic activity. And CBD, the active compound in our product, it's excellent at dealing with those issues. We can kind of get into a little bit of the science there, but CBD in and of itself is a strong anti-inflammatory and an antioxidant. So it helps with athletic recovery.
And that's a big thing I've been talking about for 5 years with my own personal issues from going from top age group athlete to not being able to do anything in a few months, that I find every year as I share my story of adrenal exhaustion and working at networking, connecting with athletes and the industry and Ironman Hawaii each year, especially this past year, I find that recovery is becoming the main focus areas. If you looked at the Race Expo this year, there's recovery mattresses and different supplements, and you guys were there. And I think it's exciting to me to see that people are finally looking at not overtraining and working on what you're doing besides your workouts that I try to talk about in this show. It's more to training than just your swim, bike, run workouts.
Sure. And for us, specifically for the market that we're in, it's really, really new, because only 2 years ago did WADA and USADA say it was allowed out of competition. Before that, it had just been a banned substance. Mm-hmm. And then it was only just over a year ago that it was removed from the banned substances list. So for a company like ours that relies a lot on working with elite athletes and other influencers, it's all very new, because it just wasn't allowed, until last year.
So let's kind of go into the basics. Let's talk about what iKOR is, what the product is, and then what is hemp. We kind of start from the ground up.
Sure. So if you go to our website, iKORlabs.com, you'll see our first product that's gone to market. and we're working on a handful of others, but that's the first product that we launched. And what that is, it's intended to be a daily supplement of a CBD-rich product that's predominantly MCT oil. It has 300 milligrams of hemp extract in it, which is what's rich in CBD. And sort of the secret sauce that our company uses, and there are a couple others out there that do it, but not too many. The secret sauce is that our product is liposomally encapsulated, which is a big phrase, but all that means is that we take the extract and it runs through a centrifuge process where the extract ends up in microscopic lipid spheres that mimic your cell walls. And the reason we do that is when it's ingested, it's highly absorbable by the body because of that lipid sphere. So it's much more of it gets into your system than a traditional oil would that has to go through the digestive system. So that's sort of the liposomal encapsulation is it's sort of the secret sauce, which makes it work better because you just get more in your body. It's that simple.
Well, that's what I've been talking about as I became a nutritional therapy practitioner 2 years ago, that, all these supplements that we read and learn about and start taking all these different things, and you wonder if anything's even reaching your body cells where it needs to go. And I'm excited to have more products like this out that are liposomal. Like I have some other drops I take. And I feel like I'm getting it more into my cells and wondering, all right, I'm taking, 20 different capsules of something, this and that at morning and night. Is it really doing anything and getting down into my intestines?
Right. And so the use of liposomes is it's somewhat unique in our industry, but they've been used for a long time. It's how high-end vitamins and minerals are delivered. A lot of pharmaceuticals are delivered through liposomal encapsulation. So it's a technology that's been around for a long time. Just we're applying it to our product and to this industry. And the feedback we get is when people use our product versus some other just standard traditional oils, ours works better because then we believe it's just because you're getting more into your system. So.
Well, I think people need to realize if they're still afraid of fat, there's a reason, every cell, the outside layer, and it's a great picture that you need fat in your body. And it's so interesting, when you learn about nutrition and the cells and the fat soluble vitamins and how important it is. And for years and years and years, we were doing the non-fat eating plan, and all these people I know still are afraid of fat, or they're vegan and the fat phobia. And I think it's an important part to look at how your cell structure actually works.
Absolutely. And it's a great fuel source too.
Yeah. And then, so you take the drops now, and it has MCT oil that you said, and what are the other ingredients? You have the lemon, it's like a lemony taste. And then
it's a citrus flavor. We use some citrus oils, a little bit of stevia, and then we do have some preservatives in there to keep the product safe. But it's a very simple product, and it's intended to be taken daily. So it's a true supplement. You're providing the blocks you need for your endocannabinoid system to function at a high level. So it's truly just a nutritional supplement product.
Okay. So sharing, if people are watching our video version, sharing your website, going over what is hemp extract, and we just kind of mentioned the liposomal encapsulation. So what is the whole thing, that you see all these extracts and capsules and lotions and creams being sold in stores, even Bartell's, our drugstore here, is selling it, that, what are the benefits to have the hemp extract and these cannabinoids that we're not going to get high and feel like we're like taking these drugs and trip us out? But what's the difference in taking CBD type of supplement?
Yeah, that's a good question. There's a lot of confusion too, because it's a very new industry, and there are various different types of products in the industry. And there's not a ton of regulation around it, to be honest. Just last month, the 2018 Farm Bill was signed into law, which should make this much more prevalent, and banks want to deal with us and advertisers want to deal with us, because before that it had been a bit of a legal gray area. But I think there's a few key topics in the types of products you see, and one distinguishing factor in hemp products is whether or not they have cannabinoids. So cannabinoids would be CBD, CBN, and the most commonly known as THC, which has the psychoactive effect on us, which our product does not have any. But if you go into the marketplace, you'll see all kinds of different products, and there's a lot of confusion around what's a CBD or a cannabinoid-rich hemp product versus you see a lot of hemp seed products. Hemp seeds have no cannabinoids, so a hemp seed product, you wouldn't get the anti-inflammatory effect, the improved sleep, antioxidant effect, anti-anxiety effect. Hemp seed products are excellent for omega-369 supplementation, but don't offer what a product like ours would. What's confusing to consumers, though, is there's not a lot of distinguishing between those products in the marketplace. And I hate to say it, but one way to tell if you're getting a high quality product with cannabinoids in it that will have these positive effects is price. If you see inexpensive hemp products, one, there probably aren't cannabinoids in it, and two, they're probably not using high quality ingredients. So I hate to say it, but price is a big distinguisher in the quality of product you're getting, for sure.
I just told a client that this morning about you get what you pay for in supplements. I mean, and fish oils too.
Right.
You just got to be really careful what you get, because people buy fish oil at a grocery store, at Costco, or these. I've just wondered, where is that fish oil coming from, and what's bad fish oil. So same thing. It's just the quality is really important to take if you're going to put this in your body. You want to know it's going to be doing some benefits for you and not causing you to get sick or hallucinate or wake up not feeling quite right.
Right. And I think another indication, if someone's interested in a particular product, they can, contact us, contact another company. But the good companies are also pretty transparent, with their methods, manufacturing methods, their sourcing methods. And, if someone contacts us, we're more than happy to talk with people about how and where we get our product, the testing that we do on it. We do third-party testing of everything. And just, we want to provide transparency to people so they're comfortable that they know what they're getting and what they're getting is high quality.
So I want to learn more and share with our listeners about the endocannabinoid system and how, we hear about taking this for sleep and you're saying on here for appetite, pain management, mood, and memory. And then we're talking about recovery and repair. So let's kind of talk about the science behind it and how does this work to help us get these benefits by taking these drops?
Sure. So myself included, I have a degree from the University of Colorado in kinesiology. And until I really got into this, I'd never heard of the endocannabinoid system. So it's something that it's not, knowing of it is not new, but the teaching of it and having a lot of information about it is a pretty new thing. So most people have never heard of it. But the endocannabinoid system it's best referred to as the body's master regulator. So it does a bunch of different things in the body, but the main purpose of it is to help keep the body as close to homeostasis as it can. It tries to keep everything in order. So it's a communicator in the body. But by having an active and functioning endocannabinoid system, your body, the desired benefit is to have your body stay as close to homeostasis as possible so that things like sleep, like recovery from inflammation, from oxidation, are all happening naturally as it should in the body.
Yeah, and inflammation is a huge part of going with the stress, the oxidative stress we put on our body as athletes, and especially endurance athletes, you're putting a lot more time and wear and tear on your body at cellular level. So how does this help with the antioxidant, the free radicals we're putting out? So we need more kind of recovery repair at a cellular level. How does this help?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I mean, CBD in and of itself is an antioxidant, so it deals with oxidation and free radicals. Interestingly, because that the federal government is only now very recently going to come around to this being a legitimate product, but the federal government actually holds 2 patents on CBD. One as an antioxidant and one as a neuroprotectant. So they've known about the benefits of this for a long time. But CBD in and of itself is an antioxidant.
So it helps because it works when you take it, you put it on your tongue. And explain kind of science behind that, why you put it in your tongue and the receptors on your tongue and how it affects your brain and goes into your cells.
So that goes back to why we choose to run it through this liposomal encapsulation process. The reason why we technically have a sublingual product, really, your whole mouth and throat is mucous membrane, so it all absorbs well. If given the right conditions. But the keeping it in your mouth, keeping it under your tongue, just maximize the possibility that it is absorbed into your body because of the liposomes. It's next to inhaling it or injecting it. It's the most effective delivery system. So that's why we tell people to keep it under their tongue, keep it in their mouth, so that the liposomes can be absorbed.
Mm-hmm. So you take that, and do you do it at nighttime, morning? Does it matter?
We recommend people do it morning and night. If you miss the morning or an evening, you can take it the opposite. But we recommend people start at 10 milligrams per day, but we take it in 2 5-milligram servings twice a day. And generally what happens with our users is that they sort of arrive at their own dosing to meet their particular needs. So we'll have elite athletes who are in the middle of a big training block, and they're taking 20, 30 or more milligrams a day. And then we'll have some people who just take it for maintenance. Maybe they take it for anxiety or they take it for sleep. And so they'll take it, maybe 5 milligrams just at night if they're trying to affect their sleep. So we direct people to start at 10 milligrams a day, but people tend to arrive at what works best for them. That's been our experience.
So if you take it in the middle of the day, you're not going to feel totally relaxed and I'm going to have a nap. But I mean, because I know another CBD stuff I took at night helped me sleep at night, and I didn't. They say it helps you sleep, so I assume that you're helping. Right. Your brain helps you, put you more parasympathetic nervous system. So how does this not make you all sleepy and tired and when you're going to go work out?
Yep. Yeah. So the 4 benefits that we tout our product that all make sense for athletes is the anti-inflammatory effect, which we talked a little bit about, the antioxidant effect. But the 2 most common responses we get from people who use our product are more in line with the anti-anxiety effect and the improved sleep effect. Now, sleep, we literally have no one tell us that it knocks them out in any way. But what is super common is people report that once they go to sleep, they stay asleep. The quality of sleep is better and people wake more rested. So it's very common that someone says, they have restless sleep, and then once they start using our product, they stay asleep in the night, not as much waking up in the middle, and then they wake feeling more rested. So we're actually going to start getting into some research looking at these issues that we're going to do internally, but that's been the anecdotal responses, is that people stay asleep and just feel more rested when they wake.
Well, that was my question, is how do you know this works and it's doing anything? You wake up rested is one way to track. Like if you used a tracker, the watch or a ring, something like that you can see your deep sleep improved, if those are even accurate. I was wondering if those sleep tracking devices are working, but if you can have something you can track, is this doing something for me and how do I know my body's responding to it and changing?
Yeah, and I'm going to speak up now. I've been here the entire time. I didn't leave.
It's not just Craig, it's John too.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is John. It's not just the Craig Sweeney show. So one of my things that I like to educate people on when talking to them about the benefits of the product and correlating exactly to what you're speaking to with smartwatches and sleep trackers is if you are an athlete that wears one, that's awesome because you'll have the data to look back at like instantaneously. So you'll actually see a spike in your REM sleep. So for me personally, I have an Apple Watch. I sleep with it. And I've seen over the last 9 months a 15-minute increase in my REM sleep consistently over that duration of time, which we know correlates into increased muscle recovery and overall decreased stress and anxiety of life in general. So it's a ripple effect. If people don't have a smartwatch or other device, I literally tell them to do paper and pen and journal how they feel day and night. Write how your day went and make a couple notes as it relates to what you're doing when you start taking a CBD product, if not iKOR. And you should see a positive effect as it relates to decreased anxiety, decreased stress, increased sleep, and decreased soreness in muscles from daily activity and or a heavy workload. And if they can track some of those, sort of like you're going to do a diet journal for some people, or a training journal, it should be an easy thing to implement. So for 7 days, my proof in the pudding is a 7-day trial of using the product, noting it, but then stopping for 3 days. And that stoppage of 3 days allows you to really feel what was taking place during essentially the microdose over those 7 days, because it's so small that you can't feel it right away. It's the cumulative effect. And then during that 3 days off, you can go back to your notes and look at the new notes and see what you were noticing and then start using right again.
So that process of taking it for a weekend and not taking it, we encourage people to do that all the time, because it is when you stop taking it, you'll notice the absence of that benefit more so than when it comes on. When you start taking it, it can be pretty subtle until it builds up a little bit in your body. But when you stop taking it, you notice. Almost everyone notices right away.
Well, that was my next question, was cycling it. Does it, you're saying that to week on, week off, so you feel the benefits, but if you take it all the time for 3 months in a row, is it less effective as if I did a month on, then took a week off or something like that? Have you experimented with the rotation cycling of it?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I've done it a couple times, and frankly, my wife says never to do it again because my mood swings are too vast. But I mean, joking aside, I do have a traumatic brain injury from multiple concussions in a bike car accident, so it does help me like stabilize my deep depression swings that I would have in the past, as well as, increase sleep so I can focus better at work versus needing glasses to concentrate or feel like a fish looking at shiny things. So some people will go ahead and they'll use it and stop using it. And it's going to be different for every individual. However, I haven't over the course of 9 months felt the need to increase my dosage due to the fact that I feel like I've become, I'm not affected by the standard 10 milligrams. Sort of like when you start drinking 3 or 4 beers, you're like, oh, I don't feel anything after 4, so I'm going to go to
better.
6. Right. And it's not the case. And part of that, I think, is the liposomal encapsulation and the fact that you're going to receive more of the CBD in your system than you would with just a straight oil. So also the dosage is smaller because of that, which is beneficial for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think, for athletes, if you're marketing towards endurance athletes, they're going to have race season, off season, preseason, and break up their training program. So what have you found? You have a lot of athletes you're working with of all endurance sports. What are you finding works best for how to cycle this or how it goes into their training program and racing season?
Yeah. So if you go to our site, you can see some of the athletes that we work with. But couple notable ones would be Tim Don and Craig Alexander. If any of your listeners who are familiar with triathlon, those are two pretty well-known athletes. And the way they use it is, what they report to us anyway, is that they use it in the manner in which we direct in just sort of a stasis normal situation. But when they get into their big training blocks where they're putting a lot of stress and load on the body, they do increase it to at least double, if not more, our recommended use. There's no problem with that. There's no toxicity or anything with taking more. But they just feel the effects. They feel the benefits of taking a bit more when they're putting that type of load and strain on their bodies. So in general, they're taking it as directed until they get into these big training blocks, and then they definitely up the usage of it.
So the recovery, I would think they're taking it for the recovery and repair benefits as well as
Correct.
probably sleeping.
Yep, correct.
That's when recovery repair
and
happens.
you did, right. And the single most important aspect of recovery is sleep. So, when they report to us that it helps with their sleep and they just wake more rested, that's massive for their recovery. Yeah.
Well, I just did an interview with someone. I actually gave them your website to contact you on concussions because they're in Boulder as well. And I think, all these guys with bike accidents. So was it Tim Don? He had the really bad crash a year ago or so, Ironman, or 2 years ago. So
broke his neck.
Yeah. I mean, he has a crazy story. So I think, I've had a few bike crashes and I just had a concussion from hitting my head on my trunk. But it's the benefit of it is what I learned that of the benefit of taking something like this for concussions, I think is another important area for any brain trauma. You're saying it helps as well.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of an important point here is with the 2018 Farm Bill becoming law, one direct implication of that is that universities should be much more active, and other research institutes, but much more active in studying the effects of CBD, the benefits of CBD. For a company like ours, I think getting into the concussion conversation is a little outside the scope of what we're trying to do. There is research around it for sure by highly respected universities and institutions. We just need more research.
Yeah,
a lot of the really, really high level, well done research has been offshore, particularly Israel seems to be a leader in this. But again, with the changes in federal law, I think you're going to see more universities studying this. And, we need 10 or 20 fold the amount of research that we currently have to get into these, these issues that really impact people's lives. CBD has been known to be a good treatment for epilepsy. And I think there just needs to be more research to truly, clearly understand what the implications of taking CBD are and how it can help people. One thing that we talk to people about, we don't want to market this because we should have a higher level of research to make any claims about this. But, inflammation is something that affects literally everybody. And most people are chronically inflamed. And that, the way our users tend to look at it is as a result of athletic activity, intense activity, and they want to use a product like ours to recover from that. But the real implications of chronic inflammation go well beyond athletic performance. There's strong ties to heart disease and mental health. And I think as we get more and more into the real research, you'll see companies that almost more the pharmaceutical side where you'll see products coming to the world to deal with these real issues that we have. And CBD, I think, is going to be something you're just going to see more and more of. And as more research gets out there, the more people understand the real benefits of it.
Yeah, I just thought I'd throw that in there because I keep hearing about it. And I know I have a client that I'm coaching up. Their son has epilepsy, and I'm just finding a lot of benefits. But I did hear recently on the news, it was an interview with some university outside of New York that they're creating this whole program that they say the future of having a degree in this, which people think they're studying. Their parents probably upset that I'm going to school to specialize in hemp.
There's certainly very strong anecdotal evidence. I think, just you need the research to understand the mechanisms by which, CBD could affect concussions and other conditions.
Yeah.
We don't truly understand the mechanisms just yet. So, yeah.
So let's go back to I have on the video version here, the website page with the product. It's 300 milligram daily, and it says it's bioavailable organic hemp oil and the liposomal encapsulation technology we discussed, and the 5 milligrams of bioavailable hemp extract per serving, citrus flavor. So question is, what the MCT oil you said is in there as well, and the citrus.
Yep.
And what was the reasoning for that?
It's a good carrier for the product. And MCT, there's health benefits to MCT oil as well.
Yeah, that's my thought.
But it makes for a good carrier for our product. We could do it with others. In fact, we're working on some future products that have different carriers that'll be coming to market in the next few months or so. That's a different type of product, but in our current product that you see, we use MCT oil because it's a good carrier for the CBD extract.
But it makes sense too, because MCT, as you said, is so many similar benefits for your brain health part of it.
Yep, absolutely. Right.
So I think this is a great idea. I think finding supplements to help recovery and repair, as I keep talking about, it's more, what you're doing in between your workouts and how you can get ready for the next workout session is that recovery repair cycle, your sleeping, your supplementation. I just finished becoming a DNA Fit coach, taking their program to look at genetics, and how it's interesting with DNA Fit, they look at your high risk for injuries based on different genetic factors and inflammation and your need for antioxidants. So some people do need more than others. If you put, you can upload your 23andMe or do a DNA Fit type of test and see what you might be one of those people, especially if you're exercising a lot more, if it's more of a heavy training season, that having more, like you said, not more is better, but having maybe it twice a day instead of once a day if you're training longer duration.
Yeah, right. And it's just what we've seen with our users. It's just some kind of limited self-experimentation to see what works best for them. But that, 95% of the people that take our product report some positive effect. So, I think it's if you're interested in enhancing your performance, maximizing your performance, it's just another tool in the bag you can go to help with recovery. If you watch on our site, if you watch we produced a little video with Tim Don. He talks about his experience with our product and why he uses it. And I think he hits it on the head when he talks about the various recovery modalities he uses. And this is just one. This is one of the things he does to help recover. So it's not going to fix you of all your ills, but it's
part of your tool bag.
An incremental improvement for athletes. Yeah.
Well, I think it's different tools you have, right? So like I have a biomat, I have the infrared sauna, I have our Normatec boots, but then it's all about improving and recovering, repairing from a cellular level. And I think just putting something on your skin, lotion or massage, it doesn't really help where the damage is done inside your cell, the free radical damage that we're creating from our workout sessions. So I think we owe it to our bodies to do a little bit more in a recovery at the cellular level instead of just getting a massage or some stretching session. Mobility drills are important too, but as I said, more tools in the bag.
That's right. That's really what it is. It just gives you more options for recovery.
Good. And then 2019, you have plans for some new products? Anything else going on?
Yeah, we're.
I mean, if you have listeners that are Ragnarians that participate in the Ragnar relay races, they can find us at all 36 races across North America in 2019.
That's
we just set the deal yesterday. We are exclusive CBD partner of Ragnar.
Oh, great. So you call them Ragnarians. People first to know. Ragnarians. There's now a term for them. Yeah. And are you guys back at some Ironman races? Ironman Hawaii?
We are looking at going back to Kona in October, and then we'll also be at the Wildflower Triathlon Experience in May in San Luis Obispo, California.
Nice. All right. Well, we'll put everything in the show notes and the links how to read and learn and order your bottle of iKOR extract and start seeing how you feel and how your recovery sessions go in between your workouts. So if you can feel better for your next workout, I think it's worth it.
Deb, we'll have our new product very soon. We'll make sure you get some of that to try. It's a different experience, but one that's gotten really, really positive feedback. So we'll make sure to get some of that.
Thank you. I'm all about being able to run and race again myself. So personally, I'm all about biohacking, be able to get my speed up running and not feel like a slow log on the road. But, being able to race and as we get older and improve the aging process is my focus, because as I know, I'm in my later 40s now suddenly, that I think it's okay. Do we love to do this sport? Want to keep doing it as we get older? You're going to break yourself down and not being able to do it the rest of your life. So taking care of the whole you from the inside out is what my mission and what I preach and what I try to do myself. So thank you for offering new products to help us continue racing and training as we get older.
Thanks for listening to the Whole Athlete Podcast. If you have any questions, feedback, or topic suggestions, let us know on Facebook or at wholeathletepodcast.com. You can help us continue and grow by leaving a review on iTunes. Thanks again, and see you next time.